Greetings and welcome to another episode of the Planetary Persuader. I am Cosmic Kev, your host, and this is for the week of February 8th through the 14th, 2019. Oh yeah. Well, you know, I say oh yeah. It's like, I know that Valentine's Day, there's going to be a Gemini moon in Western astrology, so I just kind of think it'll probably be Vedic moon and Taurus, and yeah, it's going to be like Rohini moon, you know. Oh, there's going to be some grand love gestures for sure. And, you know, the other side of person, you know, because everybody wants, like, oh God, what if I was with that person? You know, it's always better to have, the fantasy is almost always better than reality, and sometimes. Or as Elvis Costello says, imagination is a strange deceiver. The grass is always greener. Yeah, that's what somebody told me. The grass is always greener. And I don't know if that makes sense. I mean, you know, I'm old school. In those days it was like brown or gold. Okay, so, but let's talk about this Friday. Today, we've got ourselves a moon in the constellation of Aries, okay? So it's a constellation of Aries, but it's in the, no, it's not. It's in the constellation of Pisces. It's in the sign of Aries in the tropical zodiac, but its actual constellation is Pisces. If we looked in the sky, we would find it in the lunar mansion or nakshatra known as Uttara Bhadra, or Uttara Bhadrapada, and let me tell you, it's ruled by Saturn, Bhadrapada is ruled by Jupiter, and it's kind of like the funeral pyre. You know, there's an element of like dealing with death, cremation. There's also, I think, the one-footed goat, Ejakapada, might be a ruling deity, and there's just a lot of mysterious, deep stuff, you know, the serpent of the primordial depths, all this kind of imagination and really watery stuff occurs with this moon. Now, later on this week, on Valentine's Day, we also have Mars going into the tropical zodiac sign of Taurus. Boom. And so, you know, it's been in the tropical ruler Aries, but most of this week it's going to be in Aries in both systems. So it's a very potent time for initiating exercise, initiating new activities that deal with the physical. It's probably like if you were a man with low testosterone and you wanted to kind of get yourself a little more, you know, virile or whatever, you would, you know, initiate, you know, better diet and exercise, maybe taking some herbs or something, and, you know, you like ginseng or horny goat weed or something, and, you know, get your mojo working, you know. And this is not medical advice. It's just you know, supposing a situation. I mean, some people would go to big pharma and do the hardcore stuff. I'm not so sure about those things, you know, but, you know, you can make mistakes either way. That's the truth, because you know what? We're dealing with human beings. Okay, so human beings, this week, the sun will move by Thursday into sidereal Aquarius, okay? So it'll actually be in the constellation of Aquarius by the 14th. And this is a good time for music, you know, where the sun's going through the nakshatra of Dhanista this week. So this is a good time for music. And we're just going to do it sign by sign now. I think that was enough said. Starting with you, Aries. So, greetings, Aries. Welcome to your horoscope. Aquarius is like a friend to you, like a good friend, like an older brother or an older colleague that, you know, has got some game and can tell you how to be successful. And I think if you didn't grow up with success or ambition, it's all really weird, you know. It's all something that's harder to deal with. So once everything's over with, you won't be feeling quite as bad. You know, you know, once Mars moves into the second house this week too, so there's a sort of feeling of like, hey, I got to work on my money trip. Maybe I need to sell some of my tools. Male members of the family might become a little more important in the picture. You got Venus in the 10th house in midheaven, so there's this element of like improving your workspace, including making the aesthetics a little better, and it's your really career focus with Saturn up there in the 10th house too, and Pluto there. It's like, well, the work world is changing. I've got to be able to be flexible and adapt to this change, and it's rough stuff, you know. And I think, you know, for men in a lot of ways, it's rough because they are not used to change. So, you know, and women have had so many demands on them, they become much more flexible, you know, and they're kind of psychologically gone with that. But, you know, men, we have to embrace more flexible, different kinds of roles. Than maybe we've seen demonstrated the last 80 years. So, you know, it's a good thing to keep it in mind. All right. So, greetings, Taurus. You know, and so Taurus, you right now are going to experience like this kind of energy jolt, like boom, oh my gosh, I've got to like move forward. I got to do things. I'm ready to hit the ground running, and that's, you know, that's all really positive. Feed yourself the right food and get yourself in the positive runnings. Now we have we're starting out with the moon, you know, in your 12th house the next couple days. So these couple nights you might have intense dreams. But by the time we get to Sunday night, moon goes into Taurus. Mars is there too. So you might have all this energy Sunday night, and then Monday, boom. You know, I mean, you're picking up the motion. You're getting things done. Things are going, you know. And Tuesday is also a very powerful day too. So Monday, Tuesday, Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday will be a moon in Taurus, amping up the energy. And it's kind of like more of a lay low weekend, you know, 12th house. We can be part of our own undoing. But if you're like hanging out in nature, just getting away, boy, that makes a big difference. That really helps. So yeah, you just got to be ready for that. All right. Well, greetings, Gemini, and welcome to your horoscope. So, we will have a Gemini moon this week, beginning on the morning of the 13th, and of course, we'll continue through the 14th until, you know, early Friday morning. So, what can I say about this? Well. We got Jupiter in the 7th house, and Jupiter in the 7th house is a place where we're making better agreements, where we're attracted to being with more spiritual beings, where we want to have a career that's helping others, that's giving a higher value. And it also could mean a partner who's wealthy. It can mean a partner who's a drunk or a drug addict. These type of things Jupiter could also be a part of. So, you know, there's a sense of optimism and faith. And I think Jupiter faith, you know, because it's kind of like fire and water signs, there's more of a fluctuation going on, where Saturn has a certain kind of consistency. I mean, Saturn's tough, you know, but it moves slower. And so, in a lot of ways, even though there's harshness with Saturn, there's a certain reliability with Saturn. And Saturn right now in Capricorn is helping, you know, just keep your ego in check, paranormal, death, you know, people dealing with other people's money, inheritance sometimes, you know, but it's a deep time, and I think a lot of Gemini rising people with Moon in Gemini, you're going through some dark stuff that you're really having to face up to at this time. Now, the cool thing is that, you know, you have a spiritual attitude that's good, and that's going to take you places. Okay. So, greetings, Cancer. Welcome to your horoscope. So yeah, North Node, always moves from the higher degrees to the lower degrees, so it's moving back. And from what I can tell is, as the year goes on, especially by like the summer or June, things are going to really intensify for the majority of you as to what your desire is, where you're going. And your health can improve this year. That's good news. Your love life right now is improving. It's getting some kind of motion. But you're being aware of the difficulties. And, I just think having a higher love, a love for God, a love for, the Divine Mother, the Divine Father, that kind of love will take you places and keep you steady during the emotional rigmarole of what's going on here. Okay, so we've got Sun and Mercury in the 8th house right now. And that's significant, I would say, because right now it's like you have to appeal to other people with their money and resources to support you in some ways. And that's not a bad thing. Sometimes it feels a little humiliating and disempowering, but to be honest with you, you're helping them with their good karma. And if you're good about it, if it's a loan and you can pay it back, start paying it back, it's all just good karma, that reliability. Don't forget those who've helped you. That's really important. So keep that in mind. And here we go. Hello, Leo. Welcome to your horoscope. Oh yeah, I mean, we have fun in this world. And we're not afraid to have a good time, with our lives and everything. And right now, almost everything involves relationship and other people for you. I mean, look at this. Look at that western side of the chart there. It's just like full of grahas, as we say in Vedic astrology. Full of grahas, full of, things that are just going to grab onto your energy involving other people. And you're sort of this independent person. And really, like, you kind of want to just take drugs and escape because of the North Node and the 12th house. You're just kind of like, oh, I just got to get out of here. I want to just drink it off and escape because this is just all crazy stuff. Look at how this is holding the handle. North Node, good old Rahu, but holding the handle for all these planets. It's huge. It's an awesome responsibility. Especially someone who has a mythology of a demon around them. It's like, oh my gosh, this is like, how are we going to do this? And it's like, how we do it is through prayer. Prayer, meditation, extra potent, keep dream journals. Just keep checking in. Keep checking in, keep checking in. Is it real or is it Memorex? Because, things can get really tricky here. Relationships, there's better communication than there's been in a while. So that's nice. I'm looking forward to this, and I hope you are too. Bring a little bit of peace. You got a nice relationship with Jupiter. Your heart is open. Things are, things should be. This should be overall a relieving year, and a certain heart-opening spiritual principles should take place for you. All right, hello Virgo, and welcome to your horoscope. The funny thing about Aquarius time for Virgos is it makes you more Virgo than ever. So it's hard not to be critical. Like the worst, critical. Like some people are like trolls. They're out on the internet, and so whatever anybody else posts, they have to say something very informative and negative. And I think I've been guilty of this myself before. And it's just like, oh yeah, I want to correct that. That's misinformation. Or you want to discredit somebody who has information that you don't agree with. That is even more interesting to me. Is like, you're not really attacking the information, you're just attacking the person. And that gets a little bit, that's harder to really agree with. I think I'm more forgiving of people's antics if it is, as long as it doesn't really affect their livelihood, their ability to function as human beings. But yeah, the human species can be dumb, and you know that more than anyone else, Virgo. So here's the deal. Mercury is now in the 6th house, so it's easy to be critical, but it's also easy to be really helpful. And if you find out solutions and you're focusing on solutions this week and you're working as a team, it's like, how can I include other people with solving a problem? It's going to be a lot more fun and it's going to go places. So just kind of releasing some of that control sense, that's what a lot we have to do. Also, your heart is open. Your love life could be kind of good. I mean, there's this whole Venus-Pluto thing coming on right now. And so, and, for Virgos, it's going to be one of the signs that's just like, whoa, yow, where did that come from, raising up the vibe. So it's just something to think about. Well, and then there's Mars in the 9th house now, so there's a sense of adventure, this desire to travel, and the moon is going to be there Sunday night and through Tuesday, so who knows, maybe you'll go on maybe you'll take a long weekend trip, or you just start one spontaneously Sunday night and say, I'm going to call in sick the next few days, I've had enough of this, No, don't tell them I said to do that. Oh boy. Okay, so we're over in Libra territory right now. Okay, so greetings Libra, welcome to your horoscope. Nice weekend, starting out, got the moon in the 7th house, moving closer to Uranus. So by Sunday it's going to be a little bit more jangly and kind of surprising and crazy, and especially, late Saturday night, Sunday morning, and then Venus moves into Capricorn that day. So Venus moves out of your 3rd house, which is kind of fun and games and flirting, into the 4th house, which is like, having a comfortable inner life, beautifying the interior of your home, honoring your mother, giving her a gift, buying a luxury vehicle, or a vacation rental, for people that have the means. And then we have Sun and Mercury in the 5th house. And so there's this paying attention to the education of your children, getting smarter yourself, learning more things, and also opening your heart and finding that heart and mind connection where we're not, a lot of times the mind isn't paying attention to this, So that's fine. Okay. So, Scorpio. Greetings, Scorpio. Welcome to your horoscope. Okay, so Aquarius is all about the 4th house. 4th house is that inner life. And then there's Mercury's there. So Mercury's like spouting information, a lot about memories, a lot about kind of ancestral links and foundational things. Like, where did all these things, where are origins? 4th house is a lot to do with origins, and it has a lot to do about where we live, what our home is like. And so, lively conversations in the home. Creative input, because of Neptune in the 5th house in Pisces. It's like moving towards refining your creative life and putting something kind of spiritually uplifting in it. And so Mars is now in Taurus, so you're kind of more like a sweetheart. And Moon's in Aries this weekend, so it's like it might be better to just like take care of jobs. If work is offered to you, make a little extra cash, or clean up your house, get it more organized, a little midwinter cleaning, pre-spring cleaning type of thing. Making a negotiation, being a better negotiator. That's part of Mars in the 7th house. It's like there's just something, and sometimes it's open enemies, people calling you out, but yet you're in the more space where you're going to be peaceful and say, hey, I appreciate your honesty and passion. What can I say? And I think when we get to that point, we're just turning it around. Oh, what if I was that person? Well, then we're fine. We don't have to take anything so seriously. Oh, the whole world. Oh, this is a serious world. It's made some serious mistakes. I mean, I definitely take the environment as a serious state, and I take the effects of our families and our communities, what's happening to our friends and our people, and that we care about. you know, and I'd like to be able to spread that love around to the whole wide world, plants and animals included. Yeah. You know, and people that don't want to be plants anymore and want to turn themselves into rocks. You haven't heard about the plant movement? Oh my God, no. I'm going to get cutting edge here. It's going to be the next thing. Okay, let's see here. We've got Jupiter in the first house, so it's helping Sagittarius. And it's bringing more good fortune in your life, but it's also testing you, and it's putting a lot of growth and a lot of education. Your mind's getting blown this year, okay? So this is blow mind year. I got my mind blown last year. I'm still getting it blown. It never stops. Venus moved into your second house, and so, you know, love a family and love a voice. Like, your voice gets better. It's a good time to sing, good time to do mantras. Yeah. And you're working financially, you know. It's easy when Venus is going through your second house to kind of spend on luxury items. So just sometimes it's good to just be careful with your finances too. Mercury in the third house, you know where the money's at, and you've got abilities to work with your hands. You're very curious about a lot of different stuff. You're just soaking in all kinds of information. Neptune in the fourth house, you know, you want to have a little altar, spiritual zone in your house. You know, even if it's just a little waterfall that reminds you of nature, it doesn't matter. You know, it's just whatever brings you in a more chill zone and thinking of things that are uplifting for you, for your own well-being. Because we're kind of programmed to be negative thinkers, and we want to, like, uplift each other so that we don't have to do that and resonate in a better way. And it takes practice, you know, especially the older you are. It's like, oh, I've had years of thinking wrong. Now I have to change. Yay! But it's going to be fun after that stuff. Yeah. Okay. So, I see, you know, finances improving too. I see you like a good time to initiate exercise. Let's move into Capricorn. Okay, greetings Capricorn. Welcome to your horoscope. Yeah, I know, we're running there. What I see is more love in your life. You present a reliable person with a lot of insights right now. Even if they're things that are scary, you're up to the task. You have a certain amount of courage and calmness. You have a lot to talk about right now with Mercury and the Sun in the second house. Your voice is important. Your family is important. You like to talk about philosophy among friends with Neptune in the third. Home life gets some crazy things have happened, you know, and so you're trying to maybe flip a house or something happened weather-wise, you're going to have to move. And you got a lot of energy for your children, especially your male children this time around, with Mars in the fifth house coming in. And, you know, it looks like a more introspective weekend. But by the time we get to, you know, Monday and Tuesday, it'll be all fun and games. Well, hello Aquarius, welcome to your horoscope. So, here's the deal, you know, Saturn is in the 12th house, Venus is there. So, you know, you're having some sweet dreams, but you're having some really scary ones too. And so you're trying to put it all together. Social life is good, it's happy, that makes a happy Aquarius, a happy social life. Jupiter in the 11th, it's going to keep things good, you know, it's going to make things better. You've got a lot of information to give, you're intelligent about it, you're reasonable, you're practical, you're methodical, there's many things. I mean, sure, you have the erratic, unconventional, you know, and some of you are, you know, playing for the other team or whatever they call it. But it's okay, because as long as you're in this creation and within my field, I want to just spread to you an emanation of love. That where you're at, what your views are, whatever, it's all fine, you know. So, hey, you know, selling vehicles, I said that last week, that might be a good thing, or buying them. Hard to say. Moving might be good. may not be. Sometimes Mars in the 4th house does that to people. I mean, moving's stressful. Some people move every 2 years. You know, Mars will go through your 4th house every 2 years. Wow, I didn't know that. No, now I know. Okay, greetings Pisces, and welcome to your horoscope. So, before we get out there, too far out. Okay, so social life is booming. Your career life is bumping. This week, as far as lunar patterns go, we've got an ability to make money and get together with family over the weekend. And then by the end of the week and Valentine's Day, we're concerned about our mobility, or we're down in the dumps because we don't have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, and you know, we're just kind of curious of where all that's going. So, and it could go anywhere. Anyhow, do your best and be your best, and note that, you know, Sun's still in your 12th house. Lay low this week. Next week, you know, Sun is going to move into Pisces, so you're going to feel this sense of renewal. It's not going to be quite as introspective, gloomy, but you're very self-motivated right now. I got to give it to you. You're self-motivated, and I look forward to hearing what you have to say. I want to hear from some self-motivated Pisces this week. And I also want to hear from some Cancers who tell me that they've been experiencing some kind of demonic tendency or something. I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping not, or just having a hunger that has no bottom. Tell me, I want to hear that, especially from late Cancers born in, you know, say the 16th through the 22nd of July. How many of you are feeling a hunger with no bottom? Anyhow, thanks for being here. It's Cosmic Kev with the Cosmic Forecast with Planetary Persuader. We're going to do this again next week. We're going to have some more to talk about with a full moon and Sun moving into Pisces, so stay tuned. Share, tell a friend, copy and paste, whatever it takes to spread this thing far and wide. Yes, subscribe. Thank you.